Well, thank you very much for choosing to stick around for this. I know people have obligations and things, and that's understandable, but we really appreciate you sticking around. You're in for a treat. You're going to hear from an incredible team of individuals, and we hope you're blessed through it. So with that, I'm going to hand the mic off to Demetra.
Okay. Okay. Hi. For everybody, for those who don't know me, my name is Dimitra, and I come here every once in a while. But I want to start off with the verse Psalms chapter 133, verse 1. And it says, "How good and pleasant is it when God's people live together in harmony." So I'll say my first day was a little bit hard for me. First days are hard for me when I don't know people, but I want to thank God for the amazing team and for the unity He gave us. It was really nice how we all worked together, helping each other, serving with our gifts, and it was such a blessing. And it's one thing I realized, and I said, guys, there's this Bible verse that says, "A kingdom divided against each other cannot stand." And I was like, I praise God that we didn't have any issues. Like, it's normal because we're humans, and of course, humans living together will have issues. But I praise God for the joy, for the unity we had. We got to know each other deeper levels. We laughed a lot, like a lot. It doesn't mean we didn't have issues, but I just want to thank God, and for each and every one of you all, I want to say thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving each other, and it was amazing to see each and everybody serve with their gifts. So I want to give God the glory for the different gifts He has given to us, as we're all one body. And I want to thank you guys. Thank you for the prayers and everything.
Hi, my name's Jordan, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the worship service. So while we were there, we were able to be a part of and mostly put on a worship service for the staff and the house parents and all the kids there as well, and just be a part of their worship service. It was as soon as we got there, pretty much, it was the following day. So we had a little bit of time to get prepared for it beforehand, but it was just kind of amazing how it all came together. We had a worship team that we were able to put some songs together and be able to be a part of that with them there. And actually, we were able to do one whole song in Portuguese, and then another song, there was a portion of it that was done in Portuguese, the chorus. So it was really cool to be able to do that and see how they responded to hearing from us a song in their own language. And then we also had Steve gave a really great message that night and did an amazing job with that. So I'm really grateful that I got to be a part of that and just see how involved everybody was there. I was really touched to see how some of the house parents specifically were very emotionally involved in the service, and you could just see from their expressions how much it meant to them that we were able to do that with them there. And another part that stuck out to me was at the end, after we had finished, there was one of the ladies there that kept pulling everybody aside from the worship team and just from every one of us that was there, and she wanted to give everybody a hug and say thank you for being there and doing that with them. So it was a really great thing to see, and I'm really grateful that I got to be a part of this awesome team and go down there and experience that and spread the love of God.
We was calling Steve Pastor Steve, too. Sometimes I can be a bit long-winded, so I decided to write down everything that I wanted to say, so make it shorter. And I wanted to speak about our couples night, which was really fun. I wasn't sure how many couples were going to show up, but with every couple that filtered in, I found myself getting more and more excited. As they took their seats, I thought about sitting at the table with them, but seeing how happy they were to see one another, I didn't want to come between that. It made me think about how much time they actually get to spend together. I had a feeling they probably didn't get to see each other as often as they would like. And the way they embraced each other seemed to confirm it. I found myself getting a little emotional thinking about the sacrifices these couples make for all the kids at Chain of Love. They give so much of their time and energy to each other. And I wondered how much time they really get to simply bond, relax, and enjoy fellowship with their peers. We started the evening by going around the room and getting to know each couple, including ourselves. But there was a twist. Only one person from each couple could be the speaker. The speaker was determined by who was considered the better listener in each relationship, which is pretty funny. Needless to say, there were some pretty interesting conversations and a lot of laughs. After that, we began painting, with Cindy giving us step-by-step instructions. Everyone got really into it, and it was fun watching each couple's painting come together. We took a brief break from painting to play another game. The challenge was for the men to identify their wives' or girlfriends' hands simply by touching them while blindfolded. Think anybody can do that? Let me just say, we really had a good time with this one. And just so you know, I absolutely aced my test. And fairly quickly, too. I think one of my biggest laughs of the night came courtesy of Telmo. He couldn't identify his wife, Christine, right? Yeah, he couldn't identify his wife's, Christine's, hands, and her reaction was absolutely priceless. Because when he got it wrong, she was like, and we were just like, thankfully, they gave him one more chance, and he got it right the second time. Crisis averted. We then went back to finish our paintings. Ours turned out pretty good, although I have to say, I have to give Danielle most of the credit for carrying that one. I'm not really an artist. That's not really my calling. Afterward, we all took a picture with our paintings, as you can see there. It was such a great evening, and I think we all were genuinely happy to be able to give these couples a couple of hours of fellowship, laughter, relaxation, and fun. Sometimes it's easy to focus on what we're doing for the kids at Chain of Love and forget about the people behind the scenes who are giving so much of themselves. Nights like this are a small way of saying we see you, we appreciate you, and you deserve some time to laugh, connect, and enjoy one another. It was definitely a night to remember.
All right. Came up here a little nervous, but after I hear him talk, I'm feeling a little better. But so I was tasked with talking about the lunch and endeavors with the staff. So the schedule is pretty. It's pretty. What's the word I'm looking for? Like, I guess decisive. I don't know. But we usually have lunch around 12 p.m. with the staff. It was the staff, the administrators, and of course us. We'll talk with them. Kind of lost what I was gonna talk about. But hold on, let me get my words together here. One thing we like to do, or we thrive to do, was kind of intermingle with them. So we'll come in and we'll try to sit with them and basically kind of like get in the middle of them so we could both connect with them in any way, shape, or form, but so we could also just get a little bit of a feel of how, what they did there, their jobs were, and how long they've been there and all that good stuff. We'll also, of course, do devils, and those would be usually right before people started eating. So I was blessed with the opportunity to do a devil, and mine was on Psalms 31, and it was just simply more of like offering them words of encouragement, because these staff, they work a lot. They work around the clock with the kids, with the house parents, and do a lot of the paperwork in the background too for these kids. So it was just seeing that, what they do, and getting to know know them personally. It's truly a blessing. It's a calling for sure. What they do, it takes a lot. So I thank God for what they do, and I just find it in my heart to want to share a little bit of encouragement towards them. Next thing I want to talk about was maybe Wallace, man. Wallace, it was one of the kids there at Chain of Love that we got to connect with. He's been there for a few years. He's one of the teenagers now. It's my first time going there, but some of the people here have been there, and they have connected with him too. He's very closed off when you first talk to him, but, I'm kind of giving myself a little pat in the back that I was able to get him to open up. But he's a truly gifted kid. He's amazing. Like, from the pictures, you see all the little cutout papers there. It was a game he actually made. So he's very, like, talented is not even the right word. But he's able to, like, look at, this is Sonic, if you guys don't know, but, like, it's Sonic. Like, all these cutout were Sonic from, it's a show, TV show. But, like, he was able to look at it and, like, cut the shapes of the characters. He did that all by himself. He drew all the characters, and he ended up, the game we're playing is a game, like, kind of, like, created. So basically what he did is he would, if you guys know anything about video games or games in general, but he will put, like, power levels behind each of the cutout pieces, from base level to, like, based on their strength. And basically what he had us doing was fight, kind of like a little fighting game between the characters. Like, oh, if my character is stronger than yours, I take your card type of thing. And it was just I don't know. I just want to talk a little bit about him because it's amazing to see just how gifted these kids are. Some of them are just, like, the drawings they did, I don't know, just the kids are amazing. They definitely made the week, and they definitely make the trip. So yeah, and of course Wallace is one of them, and it just made me think about how life-changing it will be for them to be given an opportunity, a lot of the opportunities we have here in the States, and what they could potentially do with it. But yeah, Wallace, he's my guy, man. We connected a lot. He was amazing. So, but yeah, that's what I want to talk about.
I get to talk about our VBS we did. It was probably some of the most fun times during the week with the whole team and with the kids. We did it 4 times, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We had 2 sessions a day, afternoon and morning, so that the kids who went to school in the interchanging, everyone could come. And it was such a fun time. Every day we would have a story, a craft, and then a game. So this Bible story, Miss Cindy was amazing. We had our magnified theme, and she planned the story, the craft, and the game every day. It was so easy for us to just come in. She had a plan. She told us what to do, and it was perfect, and everyone got to have a really fun time, and everyone got to participate. And I know for me, I got to have a lot of individual conversations with a bunch of kids through this, and it was just amazing. It gave us a really good chance to directly share that word of God. Because while we're interacting with the kids, playing with them in their house, of course, we're sharing love and we're sharing encouragement and prayer. But these are stories directly from the Bible that can get planted in these kids' hearts. And I thought that was very important. And even the older kids came too some days, and that was awesome. 2 things that I really remember was one of the days we did the story of Nicodemus and how he asked Jesus to be born again. And one kid asked the whole group, and we were like, any questions? And he was like, what does it really mean to be born again? And that was a really special moment, I think, to share that with the kids, because I think that can be such a hard concept sometimes. And also, one of the last days, one of the kids volunteered to pray for all of us, and he said the Lord's Prayer in Portuguese, and that was really cool, and I thought it was awesome that he knew that, and I just had such a great time. I love interacting with kids, and we all had a really fun time. I think some mornings were hard when we woke up and we were exhausted and didn't want to go, but after VBS every day, we were all had our energy back, felt the love of God and the love from these kids, and it was just an amazing experience, and I'm so glad we were able to give them that, because these kids don't really get kids classes or direct attention from the Word. Like, they have to sit in the service every week, but I know that as a kid that can be really hard to pay attention to, so I was very glad that we do this.
One of the other events that we did was an event with the teen girls. So we got a chance to do, we did nails, makeup, we had a craft table, we did their hair, including hair wrapping, where you wrap pieces of the like embroidery floss around their hair that's braided. So they loved that. And then that was a really cool opportunity to, when all the little girls saw that, they all wanted one, so they'd come to our house throughout the week, and they wanted to be a part of that too. So we did lots of hair wrapping. We're pretty much experts at this point, so so that was cool. And then we did a devotional with them. So myself, Heidi, Demetra, and Hadassah all shared a short devotional with them on different aspects of being a godly woman or teenager. We shared on judgment, comparison, blame, and forgiveness. And it was especially powerful when we shared about forgiveness. And Demetra had asked them, we each gave them a challenge with our devotion as well. And her question to them was, who is it that you haven't forgiven yet? And we just had such a powerful moment in prayer with them. And it was just a special time for them to be vulnerable with each other and with us, and really get a chance to speak to their hearts and to pray with them and share our hearts too, because sometimes they get this idea that as Americans we don't have troubles and we don't have any issues at home, and we're saying, yeah, we do. So just a special moment to share with them. And then all of those things, that those different events, even just doing their nails or their makeup, it opens up those opportunities to have those conversations even later in the week. And during the service, they were like, oh, she's the one that did my hair, and things like that. So it's really special to be a part of those activities. And then the picture on the lower right-hand side, that was during one of our home visits. So we'll talk more in detail about home visits in a minute, but we split our team in half and we go and eat dinner in the homes. And this house just really touched my heart, just a personal story. This is where Wallace lives, so Joe and I already shared about that too, but they currently only have 5 kids in the house because a few of them have been adopted, but they hold their spot because sometimes they end up coming back. And we just had such a special time having those personal conversations with them. It was pretty even kid to American, so we had a lot of special interactions, and there was just a lot of heaviness because unfortunately one of the girls in this house that was special needs had passed away shortly before we got there. So there was also just a lot of heaviness, and it was just nice to be an uplifting spirit to them and help them kind of have joy again in that time that we were there. So that was really special, and it was just one of the short stories of an impactful evening. There's a lot that happens when we're there, and so it was just great to have those little moments and glimpses of impact that you can see. So thank you.
I'm sure most of you know me, but for those that don't, my name is Ethan. And I'm going to be talking about the guys' teen event. As some of you know, I was serving as a volunteer leader for the youth group for 5 years. I think 5 years. So teens, they've always been, teen ministry has meant a lot to me as a young adult. And youth group was the main reason why I know God now, and it's really what ignited my faith so far in my life. And as we mentioned before, they don't really have, my mom was talking about, they don't really have church like we do here. It's mostly just a service, and there's not much for the kids. So we wanted to kind of bring youth group, in a sense, to the chain of love. And one thing to think about, too, is there's a new law there where the kids can only stay 18 months. So the turnover rate there is really high right now. So for a lot of these kids, it might be their first time hearing a Bible story or hearing about the gospel. And we've seen, for the people that have been here multiple times, how much this teen ministry does mean to them. There was a guy there, Leonardo, who back in 2011 when we first went, he was a teenager, young teenager there. And he is actually working as a young adult for the Chain of Love. And so what these teens learn while we're there, because they don't get this every single week. They get it when mission teams come, and Wesley, Telmo's son, said, most of the mission teams don't do what we do. So what we come to do is needed, it's necessary for these teens to hear the gospel, and in our case, to hear about David and Daniel, which Joda and Jordan were responsible for speaking. And it's necessary. I think that word has been thrown out a lot during the week that we were there. And just to teach these young teens what the men in the Bible looked like. I think our world is so far off from what the Bible teaches of men to be. And for them, this might be their only time learning about that. So that's something I think we need to go back for every year and do. We also played lots of games with them. We did dodgeball, of course, lots of soccer. And I know it might not seem important, but trying to teach kids about the Bible, about the Lord, with no relationship is very difficult. So playing dodgeball and just having fun with them, it builds a relationship so that they can listen to you. You know, they respect you more, and they'll listen more if you're there spending intentional time with them, just having fun. So yeah, I think to any of you, if it seems kind of like we just go there to play games, we kind of do, but it's important, and it's something that they don't have unless we go. And it's been stressed to us to build the spiritual base there, and you can't build the spiritual base without just having fun with them. I probably over my time, but one thing that stuck out to me, this was the last time we went, not even this year, but I think one of the young girls there, I think it was Amanda, maybe, but one of them said that when we go, it makes her feel like she's somebody. And all the other weeks out of the year, they don't feel that. They don't get that. So I would just encourage you all to pray for the teens and just pray that if God wants us back to do this mission again, that we will go back. Thank you.
I think most of you probably know me, but my name is Danielle. Darwin and I are new to this church, and we're also new to mission trips. This was our first time. I wanted to first Ethan said something that really touched me. Julia is a young girl that was, both Darwin and I were really touched by, and we were led to sponsor her. I can't even explain what the connection was or where it came from. It was just we hugged the first day and in the worship service, so the second day, and there was just an immediate heart connection there. And these kids just want to feel like they matter. They just want to be seen. Julia asked me to go and watch her participate in her extracurricular activity. Once a week, people come in and teach them taekwondo, skateboarding, and breakdancing. And she did skateboarding, and she asked me if I would go to the gym and watch her. And all I did was sit in the bleachers and watch her. But it was like I gave her the best gift in the entire world, because somebody sat and watched her do her extracurricular. That's all it was. And it didn't feel like anything to me. I would be sitting somewhere doing something. But when I saw how touched she was by the fact that I just wanted to see her, I don't know, it just was really overwhelming. She actually, their house was the second house we went for a home visit at, and we were actually not set to go to her house. We were set to go to someone else's house. We had teams, Amanda's team and then Steve and Cindy's team, and we were with Steve and Cindy. But she asked specifically that day if myself and Steve could go to dinner at her house, so we switched everything around. But that experience, that home, the amount of love I felt in that home, there's so many things to speak about the home visits. These parents are so welcoming. The hospitality, the warmth that you feel the second you walk into their home, the spread of food. I know a lot of us are parents, and we know that raising kids can be exhausting and trying. And these parents have multiple children, probably more than most of us have. And they have some of these children come with issues and special needs. And these parents, there were days with my own 3 children where at night I prayed to God to give me the strength to do it for one more day. So to have 10 or how, and with special needs and all at different levels, from babies to teenagers, and the fact that they were so excited and so warm and welcoming and hospitable every time we came into their house. At Julia's house, they got out their guitars and their instruments and they sang, and it just brought me to tears. And at that particular house, Julia's foster parents are Cleo and Anderson, I believe, and just their own personal story. Anderson is really into music, and he was teaching each one of the kids something different, and I don't know. What we do, and going over there, it's not about the balls that we take and the clothes that we take or the medicine. It is about that, but just pouring into these families and just being with them, I don't know. I feel like I was given a gift that is the best gift I've ever been given, and I honestly can't wait to do it again.
Out of curiosity, if you've ever been to Chain of Love, I'm going to say a year. Would you stand up if you've been? 2001. That was our first year. 2012. 2023. 2024. And 2026. Winner. And Eva. Okay. So we started that, to my knowledge, we started in 2001, going to Chain of Love. We each year had different things that we were asked to do. So it's just these last couple years is when we've been doing the VBS and the programming things that we do. We're up by 7:30, and bed by 11:30, 12, 12:30, and then up again to do it again. My task that I've been given is to talk about the heartbreak of some of the children and then the success of what happened with some of the children. And so there are 3 girls. Oh, no, I guess I'm doing the good part first. Okay. These children have different stories. Each one. Isadora is in the middle. And Isadora hasn't been there very long, but she has had a very troubled life. She would manipulate and get the things that she wanted, and was, because of her background and the things that had happened to her before she came to Chain of Love, she was could be a harm to the other children, so they were really watching her. And so when you'd watch Isadora and she didn't get her way, she maybe broke out. She may be all smiles like she is in this picture, but she would break out into, you better stay away from Isadora because she was dangerous. I don't know if Isadora is there because they were talking about needing to remove her from Chain of Love because of the danger she could be to other children. But Isadora grew up where that was implanted in her. And because it was implanted in her, she was in survival mode and did not know how to let other people love her. And Elise is the one on your right with Amanda. Elise is a sweet girl, but she had been out. What they do is they do a 2-week, if there's going to be an adoption, they do a 2-week extended visit with a family that they would be adopted by, and then come back and do adoptions. But then the Chain of Love would save their spot for 1 month because it is not uncommon for people to adopt children and send them back. So she was on her 2-week extended time with her family she was going to be adopted by, and they changed their mind and sent her back. So one day when they sent her back, her eyes were just all red and swollen because nobody wanted her. And they sent her back to Chain of Love, who wants to take care of her. Melina is the other girl who's being squished between 2 of us. She was another sweetheart. That day, she had gone to court, and her grandfather and father, I don't know what happened with the mother, but the grandfather and father did not want her. At court, they let it be known they didn't want her. They kept her younger sibling and the older siblings, but didn't want her. So this is the life of a lot of these children leave. They'd be sexually abused or trafficked or just all sorts of awful things that you just can't imagine should ever happen to children. But now I'll take the other slide. But these are cool stories here. The girl at the top, first, Gabriel, he was not a Chain of Love child, but he's the son of a pastor. He is a psychology major, and he's in an internship, so he's spending it at Chain of Love. He, through Chain of Love, became a Christian, even though he was a child of a pastor. So through his interpreting that he was doing and seeing what happens at Chain of Love, he became a Christian. Gabriel, I asked him if he could talk to Bruna, who is the top girl up there. Bruna was a child at Chain of Love in 2012 when we were there. There were 3 Brunas. Well, this Bruna came back to Chain of Love and is one of the house parents. And I asked Gabriel if he would ask her, why did she come back? And she said, In my professional field, I worked a lot with children and newborns, and I fell in love with it. I've always had a strong connection with children and feel like I understand them, which makes things easier in everyday life. Because of my own life experiences, my past and my present, I can understand what they're going through. When they cry or miss their families, I can relate to those feelings, understand them, and help calm and comfort them. I want to be someone who can make those moments a little easier for them. So Bruna is now a part of Chain of Love from her past until the present. Leonardo, who somebody spoke about, was a teen there, and I just had to have a picture so I could send it to my daughter of Leonardo. He had a rough life too. He saw some things in his home that happened that were atrocious, and he ended up at Chain of Love also. And he's in the accounting department there, and is going to also going to school to be in an administrative role. Cristiano, who's the gentleman in the middle, is going to be replacing Telmo in a couple years because, you know, Telmo and I are kind of mature people now. And so Telmo loves these children at Chain of Love, and he's so concerned about them that he wanted to make sure he had a wonderful replacement. Cristiano was also a Chain of Love child. He went into the military, and after military, he didn't know what he was going to do with life, and so he started volunteering at Chain of Love, and because that's where God wanted him. And so when he was there and he was talking to Telmo about what he would do with his life, somehow it worked into Cristiano is going to be Telmo's replacement, and he's a really awesome guy. So in saying all that about them, Eric Gottschling said last week, I thought, oh, that was kind of a cool thing he said. He said, never underestimate the power of one godly life. And you look at all those lives that have come back to serve there, and these lives that want to go, and the lives that have gone, it is a necessary thing to keep going back. They do not get what we give. It is fun. It's awesome fun and awesome tiring, but it is wonderful to go and be used of God and feel like not that you're going there to be able to bless them with whatever you can offer, but coming home, seeing how blessed you are, and seeing the ministry that some of the people that have gone go into, and how just from going to minister and getting ministered to, you have effect on other people's lives. And that is why, until God tells me I can't go, I'm going to keep going.
Thank you. Okay.
Hi, my name is Sadasa. Most of you may know me. But I've been to Chain of Love. This was my third time at Chain of Love. And every single time I go there, you know, I'm always reminded of three things: the hellos, the in-between. The in-between is the connection that we make, and then the goodbyes. This year especially, a lot of things have really touched my heart, a lot of connections, a lot of hellos and goodbyes. The hellos are always so special every single time we go back at Chain of Love. We're not just arriving at a place, we're arriving to a family, we're arriving to friends that we've connected with over the years. And this reminds me of what the Bible tells us in the 1 Thessalonians 2:8. So being so affectionately desirous of you, we were ready to share with you not only the gospel of God, but also our own selves, because you had become very dear to us. And every single time we go back to Chain of Love, I'm just reminded of how dear everyone at Chain of Love is to us, is to the church, the body of the church in general. And with this comes the meaningful in-betweens, the connections that we make. And they're not always activities or planned VBS. Sometimes it's just sitting there and having a conversation with people, sharing a meal together and laughing. And this year especially, I connected with Elisa and Janda, Elisa is just so great. She's so funny. She's generally like one of the funniest people there, and she just happened to be a mom, so that tells something about the dads there. But Elisa and Gender are just such a great couple. They're truly are just a great foundation for the children there at Chain of Love. And she kind of just also reminds me of my own mom. She always is feeding me. She's always calling me. I remember last time I went, she just saw me walking. She goes, "Come here, I have something for you." And it was just amazing dessert that she just had. She's just truly great. And her and her husband are truly just amazing parents to these children. And this year they asked for, they had some prayer requests. So they asked for health and patience for difficult moments, especially with the children, for school, adoption, and blessings as well. And I just hope that we could continue to pray for them. And another connection I had was Wesley and his wife, now wife, Erica, who are newly married. They got married in April. So as a couple who are just married just a year ago, we were able to connect with them, and just seeing how what God has been doing in their lives, and the proud moments that we were able to share with them showing us their little apartment and how joyous and happy they were about this apartment that they had, this great milestone in their life, and just kind of reminded me that sometimes it's not about always what we do and what we bring to people. It's simply about being present and witnessing what God has been planning and blessing others. So that was a great moment that we shared with them. And finally, the goodbyes. The goodbyes are always so hard to see all this connection, just to witness on the love and hospitality of the Chain of Love parents, and just sensing the love of God through the children. And it's always hard. It's always so hard. But I've come to realize that these goodbyes also means that we get to go back. It means that there were moments of laughters, moments of joy, to a moment where we just sat and shared a meal together. And this is one of the greatest gifts of ministry. It's that we not only get to go serve, but we also leave with having been deeply blessed by them. So, yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you. I don't know if you saw, I think one of the slides we skipped this morning, but it came up at the beginning, was of all the gifts people here, people in other places sent us through Amazon, and we brought lots of things. And so we thank you. They were grateful for that. So grateful. So we don't mean to underscore that in any way. Those gifts were wonderful. The medicine that is really hard for them to get, we were able to bring a lot. Band-Aids, Neosporin, just things like that to make it a little bit easier. They stocked the shelves, the clothes, sports equipment, peanut butter. Well, we did that idea because we knew it's something they don't have. Peanut butter and the cards from all the Hope Kids. They went in every single little basket that our cousin Julie crafted. They were beautiful. Every home got a little basket with a game and peanut butter and just like things that we wouldn't think are a big deal, but they were beautiful. And the cards from the kids were great, and they had them up in their homes. So thank you, Hope Kids. Thank you, everybody, for everything that you did and all the giving, and especially the praying. We felt this time more than ever it was hard. Like, we thought 3 is a charm. This is the 3rd time in 4 years. This is going to be good. We're ready. And, man, it just felt like from the plane getting stuck and having 2 different problems and then telling us to get back on it. And we were like, yeah, well, we want a better plane. But we got on it, and God got us there. They fixed 2 different issues. We were sitting in the sweaty plane for like an hour and a half, no AC, in Texas. It was horrible. So it just seemed like one thing after another. We'd wake up and 2 more people were sick. It was crazy. Like, that's never happened. But this team pressed on, and they did everything and more to love the people there, to bring your love to the people there. And we just thank you so much for those prayers. We could not have done it without you. So thank you so much. We did bring treats, so we want to pass those out to you all. Think about Chain of Love. Think about those kids. Think about the things that we were able to leave there with them, and the things that God planted through us and through you. Thank you so much. And we have 1 minute to spare.
We definitely wouldn't be able to do it without.
Okay.
Hey, I want y'all to notice something. Remember the picture we took in front of the house for the last day? Did any of y'all notice what Gabriel was holding in his hand in that picture?
A Pop-Tart. I did.
Show me. I didn't even notice.
Our last picture. It was a Pop-Tart. It was his first Pop-Tart.